What's going on, moms? You got Coach Zoe here with Simple Mom Fitness. Today we are going to be working a postpartum core strengthening workout, okay? So just a few different movements. We're not going to work within really like a timer. You're just going to work with me. Of course, you can work as fast or slow as you need and adjust as you need, but this should be pretty modifiable proof depending on where you're at in your postpartum journey, okay? So we're just gonna be working on building our core strength. Remember, our core is the trunk of the body, okay, not just those little six-pack ab area. All right, we're gonna work on strengthening, building that stability back so we have a nice supported spine. All right, so we stay happy and healthy, okay? So let's get started with a nice light warm-up, all right? So let's just start with a quick roll of the necks in both directions. Good. All right, let's reach up nice and tall. And we're gonna find some side bends. Side to side, nice and gentle. Notice I'm gonna keep some length as I reach. Okay, so I'm not trying to go and crunch my side. Keeping them nice and tall. And hands behind the head. I want you to look up at the ceiling, draw your belly in, slightly lean back. Open up your chest, draw those elbows together behind you. Good, and stand up tall again. And we will crunch now side to side. Using those obliques a little bit more. Good. All right, hands on your hips. Let's find some lateral knee tucks. Okay, so we're gonna bring those knees to the outside, tucking them in towards the shoulder. Warmed up those hips a little bit. Good. All right, and we are going to squat today, so take some time and drop down to a squat. Just kind of build your depth with each rep. Good. Nice, gentle squat. And try to get as close as you can to parallel. We want to keep the weight in our heels, knees back behind the toes, chest nice and high, drawing that belly in. And reach those arms forward, a couple more. And reach those arms up, a couple more. This is going to be challenging. Woo! All right, from here, you're gonna hinge through those hips. So finding a deadlift, hinge through those hips, push your hips back, back, back as you let those knees soften, a nice, tall, long spine, tucking that chin down. Good, good. Excellent job. All right, and stay in your deadlift position. Let's do some flies here. So keeping a nice, tall spine again. Weight in the heels, squeezing my shoulder blades together. Good. For 3, 2, 1, and stand up. All right, let's get that blood pumping a little bit. So let's find some modified jumping jacks. If you feel good to do regular jumping jacks, all right, you're okay with the impact, go for it. I know many of us are probably in the beginning phase of postpartum or still pretty early where that impact just doesn't feel that great. So whatever you feel like doing today. Good. All right, hands on your hips or grab a wall. Let's do some lateral leg lifts. And switch sides. Now notice I'm not swinging my leg up. I'm using those muscles on the side, my obliques, to lift and my external rotators here. Good, okay. Now you're gonna bend and find a nice hinge here. We're gonna do some gentle cat-cow. So you're gonna drop that belly down, lift your chin, round the back and tuck. Belly down, lift, round the back and tuck. Lift, round the back and tuck. Lift, and hands on the floor. In our tabletop here, let's do a few bird dogs. So right arm, left leg, reach up, and then we rotate left arm, right leg. And just work at a pace that's good for you. All the while, we're drawing that belly button in towards the spine as we work here. Good, deep breaths. For 3, 2, 1, and let's stand up, shake it out. All right, so we're gonna get started. So again, we're not gonna really work in a timer, fast-paced format. This is not a cardio workout, and we're trying to keep it a little easier as we build that core strength. I want you to focus on your form, not your reps. So I am gonna give you a rep count, but again, just work with me. You can either go a little faster, go a little slower, but it's about the quality of each rep, not the quantity. So we're gonna start with an overhead wall squat. So you're gonna get as close as you can to a wall. I will face you because I want you to see the position of my body, but you're gonna get as close as you can to a wall. Almost touch your nose if you can. And I want you to think you're gonna be squatting in front of it. So maybe just take like a 1/2 inch back. Get those arms nice and tall, reach overhead, and you're gonna drop your hips back and down as you squat. Okay, and we want to be able to do that without touching the wall. So we're trying to get as close to the wall as we can without actually touching. If your knees bow in, right? So if you down, some of this stuff happens, or some hinges happen as you come up and down because you're too close, take a little more room back. Okay, so we're gonna start off with 10 overhead squats. So arms nice and tall. All right, I want your biceps in line with the ears. Draw the belly in. Okay, drawing that belly in, keeping your chest proud. Don't look at the floor, look straight at the wall. And squat down. Okay, so we have 10 of these. And make sure too you're not looking up at the ceiling. You wanna look straight ahead. Keep those knees drawing outwards, but not too far out where we're lifting the feet off the ground. Again, we're going for 10 reps. You can work with me, faster or slower. That's 5, 6, 7, almost there. You got it, ladies. Keep that weight in your heels, active with those arms, reaching towards the ceiling. All right, one more rep. Good, and keep those arms where they are. We're gonna do some overhead deadlifts. So come away from the wall, give yourself some room. We're gonna hinge from the hips and drop our chins down as we push those hips back, keeping our knees directly over the ankles. It's 3 and 4. So we're doing a lot of work in our erectors here, right? That low back, that lumbar spine, which kind of seems like, how is that your core? Okay, it is. And what it's doing here is we're trying to build that strength up so we're not getting all kinds of wonky postures. Oh no, I lost count. I think that's 8. Sorry, 9. One more. And 10. All right, so that's 1 round, okay? That's 1 round. Let's take a quick shake out. You're gonna feel a lot of activity in those shoulders and in your upper backs as well, because again, when we're postpartum, we're nursing, we're feeding, we're pumping, okay, whatever you're doing, you're holding baby a lot and you're starting to find this posture, right? So I'm sure we all feel this. When we have those arms overhead as we work here, we're working against it. All right, so get close to that wall. We're gonna go again in 3, 2, 1, overhead wall squats. Again, you're trying to get as close to the wall as you can without physically touching it. Okay, so that's your challenge for this rep. Again, if your form gets compromised because of it, I want you to take a little baby step back. Good. 2, 1 more. Oh, I'm sorry. Now 1 more. Go, Zoe, come on. All right, overhead deadlifts. Okay, so again, find some space from that wall and hinge through the hips. I'm trying to work at just a nice steady pace here. This is a pace that's good for me to make sure that I'm keeping control over my body. I'm staying active in my upper back. So I'm keeping those arms reaching away from my shoulders and they're reaching towards the back of my body. Good. 4 to go. Weight is in those heels. 3, you got it. Come on, a couple more reps. 2, and last one. Good. Okay, that was 2 rounds. We got 1 more. So you probably feel a lot of activity in the shoulders, probably thinking, how is that my core? Again, we're focusing on our little 6-pack abs that are a little sad right now. Okay, we're trying to focus on the full trunk of the body. Okay, so if we're supported up here, it's gonna be easier to draw that belly in. And when we're working overhead, you have to draw your belly in to keep that support. Otherwise, and you would notice this more if you had like an actual weight in your hand, but you would fall, right? You would drop that weight, okay, if it was too heavy, if you weren't engaged properly. All right, last round. Okay, back to our overhead wall squats in 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. And I'm drawing that belly in, especially as I go down. So take a deep breath in at the top, fill that belly up, and exhale. Draw the belly in. Right, just like when you yawn, okay? We're working that diaphragm as we breathe. And how is that diaphragm working? With our abdominals. All right, 5 more. This is your last set, so stay strong, really focus on your form. Keep yourself honest. 3, 2, And last rep, sit all the way down. Good. All right, find a little space. We have our overhead deadlifts. Ready? Let's go. Hinging from those hips. Sticking your butt out. Staying nice and strong in those feet. Grounding down. Long arms. Stay active in those hands. Takes a lot of mindfulness to keep those arms active. Oof. I'm sorry, I keep losing count. That's halfway 5. 4. I want to keep you encouraged. 3. Sometimes it's easier to listen to somebody talk than it is to count. 2. Last one. Good. All right, quick shakeout, and then we're gonna work it down to the ground. Okay. So again, core chunk of the body has more posterior chain focus. So right, our backs. Because how are we gonna get strong in the front if we have no support in the back? Okay. So next, we're gonna get on the floor. We are gonna get up and down, sorry. We're gonna get on the floor first and start with a push-up to a down dog. So your push-up can either look from a tabletop, right? If it is from a tabletop, I don't wanna see this mess, right? Or this happens. Elbows drawn in, okay? If you cannot keep those elbows in, then take a wider grip, okay? It's not my favorite push-up. I'd rather you just put your hands on your couch or on an elevated surface. But otherwise, we could also do a knee push-up. That knee push-up, you're gonna have a nice long line from your shoulders to your knees. Okay, notice the difference. All right, so our push-up would be here. If you are feeling strong enough and there's no drop or sagging in your hips, okay, and you can do that standard push-up, please go for it. But I don't want you to hurt your backs. Okay, so we're gonna go from a push-up to a down dog. We got 10 reps of these. Okay, so push up, draw that belly in, and down dog. And try to use your push up to draw the belly in. Good. And relax your belly in that down dog. Draw that belly in. Woo. And down dog. If you feel any pinching or discomfort in your low back, just use your knees. Okay. Almost there. Good, good. Excellent, ladies. And make sure that we're gripping that floor with our hands. Open your fingers out as wide as you can. Push through your knuckles and the palms, not just the wrists, right? All right, and on your feet. Okay, so we have 10 of those. That is a little more intense, so you need to drop it to 8 reps. That's fine with me. Okay, next we're gonna get a wall sit. So I want those feet to be nice and far, about 2 feet from the wall. 90 degrees at the knees, okay? Back is flat. Cactus those arms. Go post those arms against the wall. If you can, draw the back of your head to the wall. When it's off a little funny now. Okay, draw the back of your head to the wall. And while we're pressing against the wall, we're gonna reach all the way overhead. You're gonna find, again, a lot of activity in that back. Woo, 10 reps of these. Try not to do this because you're not doing anything. I'd rather you do 5 nice and slow than 10 fast and wimpy, right? Woo, almost there. And again, I'm trying to keep contact, especially with my elbows and my wrists. And it's just not happening through the full range of motion because I'm so tight in the chest. My chest is so tight. Good, 3 more reps. 3, 2, 1, woo, and rest. That is hard. This round, for me personally, is very, very challenging, okay? Might not be to you. You might be nice and gooey. I was very strong before my pregnancy, did a lot of strength. So I just got tighter and tighter and tighter. Those muscles just got more and more tonic. All right, so a quick shakeout and then we're gonna go back and do round number 2, okay? So take a deep breath. If you need a quick drink, get a quick drink. Set yourself up. Let's go 8 reps this time. 10 was a lot. Okay, so ready? Drop down with that push up. Press back with your down dog. So draw that belly in, especially as you push. And exhale, relax that belly as you go into your down dog. So I should say inhale for your down dog, not exhale, because when you draw your belly in, you're gonna naturally want to exhale, which is a proper way to breathe, okay? So try to exhale and draw your belly in as you press. And take a nice big inhale. on your down dog. Good, 3 more reps, I think. I'm so sorry. It's hard to count and to talk. Give me a break. I have a newborn, we're not sleeping. Okay, and rest. All right, back on the wall. Wall sit. Now, if the wall sit is just distracting you from the upper body work, then just stand, okay? I'm just trying to give you a little extra credit so those legs are working, okay? But I like the wall sit version because it's forcing me to keep my spine flat because I'm kind of tucking that tailbone underneath. All right, but again, if it's too much, it's too much. We're focused on this upper portion, okay? Because that's really activating the back there. Again, drawing that belly in. It's all about these vacuums when we're trying to work our core strength. Okay, these vacuums are what's the most important parts. Okay, ready? Let's go 8 reps. Again, constant contact with our hands, the back of our hands, wrists, and elbows against the wall. You might even feel a little bit of tension in your neck, right? Like it's kind of uncomfortable. That's probably because you have forward posture and you're so used to dropping your chin down. I've been so guilty of that with our newborn, just between watching him while I'm feeding him or in the middle of the night. I'm so tired, I'm just letting my head hang. Good, 1 more and rest. Okay. All right, moving on. We're gonna get down on the ground again. Okay, we have just only on the ground. We have a flying tiger and a pelvic tilt. Don't really ask me where the flying tiger name came from. I don't know. I don't know. I should call it a flying hydrant because what we're doing is a fire hydrant, right? Let's call it a flying hydrant. Fire hydrant, okay? And we're gonna fly, right, while we do it. So, actually, I'll come at an angle again. So I'm gonna use this arm. Whatever arm is working is the opposite leg, okay? So you're gonna feel a lot of that cross on your torso. You're gonna feel that rotational pull, okay, in your vacuum. So again, drawing that belly in, especially as we lift the limbs. So we're gonna exhale as we lift the limbs, and we're gonna go for 10 reps, or I'm sorry, for 8 reps, and then we'll switch. So that's 2, 3, 4. Try to fill up your belly, inhale between each rep. 5, 6, 7, again, slow, and 8. I'm gonna turn, well, I'll stay here so that way you can see what this side looks like, okay? The closer version. All right, so 8 reps. Again, opposite arm and leg are what's moving. Drawing the belly in. If this is too much, just do the fire hydrant, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. All right, next we're gonna get on our backs. Whoops, sorry. Smooshed my microphone. Probably heard all that. Okay, we're gonna get on our backs. Okay, from here we're just gonna pelvic tilt. So it might be hard to see this, what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is I'm now not using my feet. I'm not gonna bridge. I'm just gonna tuck my butt. And I'm using these deep abdominal muscles to tilt my pelvis. So think if my pelvis is my hands, I'm just rocking it back. I'm rocking it back. So I'm pushing my low back against the floor as I do this. If you're doing it right, you're gonna get shaky in the breath. Can you hear that? Okay, you're gonna feel really shaky while you do it. Get a nice good squeeze at the top. 8 reps here, 2, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Flip it back over. We're gonna find our flying hydrants again. I don't know where tiger came from. It did come from somewhere, but I don't really call it that anymore because it sounds silly. Okay, so flying hydrant. So fire hydrant with one leg and the opposite arm is gonna lift. So right leg and left arm. It's 3. Take your time. Again, I'd rather you get less reps that are very high quality than the reverse. 1 more. Are you guys feeling that? Are you feeling Like whatever side's lifting, you're gonna feel almost in that opposite upper quadrant, right? So this side would be where you think you feel it, and I'm feeling it up here. Okay, so we're kind of getting that like that twisting strength without having to twist. Again, if it's too much, just do the hydrants. Draw that belly in, or just go to a height that's not so intense, right? The higher you go, the harder it's gonna be. Draw that belly in as you lift. And I know I'm repeating that so much, but that's because it's crucial to the move. 3, 2, and 1. Good, all right, pelvic tilts. Okay, so we're on our backs, feet flat on the floor. Again, you're gonna get shaky when you do this. So pushing your low back to the floor and tucking your butt as much as you can. So think you're trying to point your tailbone. Try and point your tailbone to the ceiling with each rep. 3, 4, 5, almost there. 7, last one, and 8 breaths. That is it, mamas. Okay, so let's just gently stretch the belly out because that was a lot of work. Now we only did two rounds. I might have said that we were gonna do 3, sorry about that. Only did 2 of those last 2 sets because they're just so intense. All right, they're so intense, and this is all core work. And those last, I mean, the push-up, the tiger, the hydrant, and the tilt are all very front abdominal focused. So I don't want to overdo it for you guys. All right, so let's just find some gentle cat-cows here. So just rounding the back and then dropping the belly. Just nice and slow. Just find a little bit of movement in your spine. Oh. All right, you could even lower down to your belly here. All right, from here, act like you're gonna do a push-up. You're just gonna gently roll up. Now, this is probably gonna be too intense to straighten your arms all the way, so just go where it feels good. Maybe even rock side to side. Oh, that feels so good. I'm gonna take my hands a little farther in front of me now and gently press. Draw your elbows in, maybe even press your forearms down. It feels pretty good, like a sphinx. Oh. All right, ladies, and that is it. Not too much of a cool down. I just want to stretch those abs back out a little bit. Thank you for joining me. All right, come back and visit this one. I would personally make this at least a once a week workout. Maybe as you progress farther and you're about, 2 months into your postpartum workouts, so not 2 months postpartum, probably not 2 months postpartum, but if you start working out at 6 weeks, like most people are cleared, okay, 2 months after that, at that point, maybe you're doing this workout at the end, okay, add this on to the end. Keep doing this workout over and over and over again until you don't have any back pain, back issues, okay? And until you really feel like your abdominal wall is as strong as it was before your baby, okay? But anyways, thank you for joining me. I'll catch you next time. I'm Coach Zoe.